This episode is sponsored by Williams Legal Services. Did you recently get a speeding ticket or a ticket for your tints being too dark? Then Williams Legal Services might be for you. They have been helping car enthusiasts such as myself since 2016. Contact Williams Legal Services for a consultation today. Link in the description below, or give them a text or call at 647-631-5516. Hey guys, thank you for listening to the podcast. If you'd like to support the channel, buy our merch. So we made air freshener, 3D printed keychains, a flight tag, and a t-shirt. I'm actually wearing it right now. And this is what it looks like. So you like to support our cause, our channel, scan this QR code here, or you can go to visit us at groupen.club/merch and you can make the purchase there. Now let's start the episode.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Welcome back to World in the Streets. And I have Uncle Raymond. Uncle Raymond. Hey, yay! Yay! Thank you for coming, sir.
Anytime.
I know it's a long drive.
Thank you.
Yes. How was your day so far?
Not bad. It was kind of far.
It's far. Yes, sorry. Well, all the way from Markham, right? Was the traffic okay?
Yeah, traffic's pretty good.
Yeah?
It's about an hour.
About an hour? Okay. But are you having a good time?
I am.
Good. Good.
Always with you. It's a good time.
Stop. Welcome, let's stop. Yes, I invited Uncle Raymond because I needed someone to talk to about his ARC-7. I have so many questions because especially when you're building it right now, so you're walking through the process of it all. Also, get to know you a little bit more because I always run into you at shows, but we never really had time to like chit chat.
I'm not cool enough.
No, I'm not cool enough. You're too busy winning awards.
Oh, please.
You went to Gatlinburg.
Oh.
Okay, like I didn't go to Gatlinburg.
You should, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say second year going.
Oh, it's your second year now.
Yeah, second year. Definitely, I would say in terms of the US show-wise, it's definitely one of the craziest and biggest ones that you definitely like. The vibes is totally incredible. You normally wouldn't see that type of vibe from regular shows, but it's like literally thousands and thousands of cars gathering together, and there's cops everywhere, and every plaza, everything is completely full of modded cars.
The cops are there just to make sure nobody's doing anything.
Yeah, the cops are super chill. Just like I talked to a lot of them, and the plaza owners, as long as you're not doing anything dumb, they'll call the cops. Some owners love it. Some owners don't really like it, but
I get it.
In general, I would say they're okay with it because obviously it does bring business. But when you're obstructing some of the businesses that don't really benefit from cars being parked in the parking lot, because like a lot of times when they get into the lot, you're like at a gas station, I was stuck there for 2 hours. Because you just can't get out, right? Like the cars are just parked everywhere, and they're blocking like every entrance, exit, so you're not moving anywhere. Right, but like it was kind of cool because I got stuck in the parking lot with a bunch of YouTubers like Orange King, stuff like that. Yeah, so it was pretty cool. Everybody was filming, everybody was chit chatting. I ended up like on their YouTube channel. They were talking about the cars.
Yes.
And yeah, I mean, like in terms of a car show, I can't really say off the top of my head that there's any show I've been to with that type of vibe. It's definitely worth going at least once.
Are you gonna go back again this year?
Yeah, we're planning for it. We're planning for it. You should definitely come.
I will try to come. I don't know yet. I also want to go because I see people. I see a bunch of you guys going, right? Like
Yeah.
including Eric and all them.
Yep. We're trying to do another big house thing, right? So you're more than welcome, man.
I'll see. I don't know. It's all about schedule. But is that Gatlinburg was one of the. Is that the only American show you've been to thus far, or have you been to others as well?
No, we've been to others. PassMag runs the PassMag Rally.
Yeah.
We've done the Formula Drift, New Jersey, Englishtown a couple of times.
That's Formula Drift. Okay.
Yeah, that's Formula Drift. That's a super fun activity to do too. Like last year we ran a little bit different because the first year we pretty much did the straight drive down, and we ended up at New Jersey's, which is one of the biggest go-kart tracks indoor.
Okay.
Super fun. Can't remember the name. Entertainment something.
And you guys were on the go-kart track, like racing go-karts?
It's like a two-story go-kart track layout.
Oh, that's so cool.
It's so cool. Yeah, it's a super cool track indoor. Biggest in North America, apparently.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's really fun. But then last year, they switched it up a little bit. They ended up renting out a private track, which is like they teach people, they coach.
Like private go-kart track?
No, car track.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
okay.
It's a small track.
Okay.
I think like a DDT size kind of.
Oh, okay.
Right. Pretty interesting. We did some rollers and stuff. Did a couple of laps on the track. Yeah.
With your own cars or?
Yeah, with our own cars.
Wow, the ARC-7 saw track time?
Oh, a little bit. Well, it wasn't anything crazy, but we just ripped it around a couple of laps. It was super hot.
In New Jersey?
Yeah. Well, the track is in New York.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think it was during summertime too, right?
Yeah,
like
it
June-ish?
was during around summertime. It was blistering hot.
Nice.
Yeah.
But okay, but a good time. And then to compare, because Formula D, that's a drift event.
Yep.
And then whereas Gatlinburg, it's a car show.
Yeah.
So they'd be completely different then, right?
Yeah. I mean, Formula D, like that portion of it is it's kind of like a show as well. You park up, with PassMag. They basically have a bunch of cars, and if you want to, put your car there, they'll put your car in.
Okay.
You don't get an award or anything like that. It's just for.
So it is the FD event like a CSCS event? Would you say?
Yes, similar.
Similar.
But pro level cars are definitely next level in comparison to CSCS. Not that, obviously not that the Canadian cars aren't, interesting to watch. But the Englishtown, they usually run a figure 8 configuration.
Okay.
And
so it's like a full track kind of deal.
All those pro cars are like, a lot of them are like 1,000 horsepower.
Yeah.
1 or 2 laps and you just can't see the arena anymore. Everybody's just eating smoke.
My gosh.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy to see pro level cars. Also, obviously, it's pretty cool to a lot of guys don't get the chance to see a lot of the YouTube idols and stuff like that.
Yeah,
it's
and
definitely
I guess,
a pretty cool experience.
Yeah, that's one drawback of the Toronto car scene because we don't have that kind of like, you don't see stuff like. I'm a little bit more old school, so it's like Dude in Blue, that guy. Who else was I thinking about? I can't never pronounce Eliminate and all that. So you don't see those guys. You see,
we met TJ Hunt last year.
TJ Hunt as well.
TJ Hunt.
Yeah, we don't get to see them because who's really gonna come up here?
Yeah, Adam LZ, TJ Hunt, most of the pro guys, they're always there.
Yeah, and they entered. They're doing like they're actually competing too, right?
They're competing.
Yeah, so oh, man, sometimes
it's fun. It's a fun trip down. First year we went was extra fun.
First year?
First year, I would say the drive down was extra fun.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
How come?
Good. People were going a little fast, a little bit.
We have a sponsor, Williams Legal Service. If they need help, let me know.
I drove the Civic the first year.
You drove the Civic.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, I couldn't keep up. These guys were, man, I'm telling you,
They're flying. They're just flying.
They're just going.
Fighter jets. They're not driving cars anymore.
And then they were also running like a contest style kind of thing, so you end up like winning an award or something if you're like the first person to end up going there.
Wow.
And stuff like that. So it got a little competitive at one point, So,
it was still within the speed limits though, yes.
The craziest part was one of our guys, he ended up adding him to the team. He was probably, I would say, the most slammed car.
Okay.
And somehow he was the first person there.
He's like, I'm not waiting.
You would never expect it. Yeah, Daniel with the IS, you would never expect him, or that car being that slammed.
To be first.
To be first and to be doing, a little bit,
He took the competition.
High speeds.
He took that competition very seriously.
He definitely took that very seriously.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
What was the win? Like a free dinner or what?
Oh, I forgot. I think he won. He won something.
It better
One
be
of the
good.
sponsors. Yeah, I can't remember what it was.
It better be good, bro.
Yeah,
I swear.
Yeah.
If it's all for like a free McDonald's lunch, bro, I'm gonna lose my mind.
No. It was something. I can't remember exactly which one of the sponsors. He got something. I know he got an award and he got some merch from somebody. I can't remember what it was exactly. But they always run contests like that. It's pretty cool. It's a cool experience too.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then like I guess it's just a matter of like signing up and getting accepted to join like a rally like that, right?
Yep. They always run it, and it's like it's worth it in my opinion. Just to experience Formula D in general.
Okay.
Yeah, and driving down with 30, 40 cars is
that's always a vibe.
It's pretty epic. Yeah,
that's always
it's fun.
Good times.
Yeah, it's very good times.
Okay, so budget's always an issue. These trips that you do to these shows, how much would it cost a normal person? Like if it's just by yourself and you in the car?
It really depends on where you're going, and obviously gas is generally one of the biggest factors.
Yeah.
Because driving to Jersey, unfortunately, I don't drive. I haven't driven my car down that far because it's just doesn't make sense to, right?
Yeah.
Fortunately, I have Julian's dad who tows both our cars down.
Oh yes.
Yeah. It can get expensive depending on what car you have and how bad on gas. And obviously RX-7s.
How fast you drive?
RX-7s are not, how fast you drive definitely matters too.
Yeah. The RX-7 is
RX-7s are terrible on gas. Very, very terrible.
Yeah. Behind the scenes, I was asking about, compared to your Sienna, how bad it was. And you said the Sienna's way better.
Way better.
So how much better are we talking about?
I would say double.
No way.
Yeah, it's
You're
bad.
saying the RX-7 takes 20 liters per 100?
It's pretty bad. And when I'm driving it, I baby it. I don't rip it much anymore. So it's pretty bad.
And even when you're babying it, it's still high.
Very. And it has the most gigantic gas tank in the world. You would never imagine a car that small having a 76 liter tank.
No, it's 76 liters?
76 liters. So it's like about $120, $30 to fill. It's pretty crazy.
Today that just blew my mind today.
Yeah. So it's you don't notice. It seems almost as like, the gas gauge isn't really going down much. But then when you think it back, you're like, well, hold on a second. This gas tank is almost 80% more than a car generally that size.
It's twice the size of my CRZ's tank.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's crazy bad.
Wait, didn't you also say that your Sienna tank was 60 something liters?
Yeah, Sienna is 66.
So the RX-7 has a bigger gas tank.
Yeah.
Than your Sienna.
It does.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And it probably only does maybe 400
You're not kidding.
Oh, I'm not.
You're not
I wish I
kidding.
was kidding.
Wow.
It's pretty bad. So like, even going like Cayuga CSCS, it's like at least a third of a tank to maybe half a tank
To get there?
to do the trip back and forth if I was to do it.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's really bad.
Oh.
So based on what gas prices are now, that's $60 to do at least that trip. Imagine driving to New Jersey.
Yeah, how New Jersey is 8 hours now?
Yeah,
10 hours now?
9 hours. 9 hours.
9 hours?
Mhm.
Yeah, so that's a whole tank, and then that's 2 tanks almost.
Yeah.
Holy.
Yeah. So it really depends, right? Like
Okay.
at that point, it's not really worth it to drive.
You might want to consider.
Yeah, you might consider like towing your car. Plus, it's better on mileage.
Yeah.
On your car,
Less wear
and you keep the
tear,
car
too.
safe in case anything happens.
Yeah, that's true.
I think a lot of worry comes from doing these trips like that. It's a 14-hour drive, right? If anything happens,
Gatlinburg's 14 hours.
Yeah, it's 14 hours.
Okay.
So in case anything happens, it's a little scary. Last year, one of our guys on the way home broke down, and
Sounds
he
like
was
fun.
very, very lucky. A random guy with a tandem trailer pulled over on the side of the road and he picked him up. Yeah, and literally towed him from, I think it was Virginia, all the way to the border for free.
That's
Yeah, the guy was just like, it was so random, man. He's like super nice people. Like, it's not often you would run into somebody like that.
Yeah, because
And it would like, those are the type of things that really worry you if anything like that were to happen on the trip. It adds a very significant amount of, cost-wise.
yeah, your bill goes up.
Your bill goes
immediately.
up huge if you had to tow. And the worst part is like when you transfer, like even if you had CAA or something like that,
Yeah,
they don't take the car all the way across the border.
they can't.
They
right?
can't. So
Yeah.
they would literally like, you'd have to drop the car at the border and then
Take another.
somehow get it across the border to have somebody else pick it up again.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's really, really hectic.
Oh my god.
That's why a lot of people are very like worried about their car being able to make the trip. So make sure if you're doing long trips with your car, you better keep your maintenance up.
Wise words from Uncle Raymond. Make sure your
100%.
car is safe and
Yes.
sturdy and reliable.
Long trips are dangerous,
Yeah.
or it can get dangerous.
And I guess it's get there, you do your thing, Bob, and then you're gonna stay a few days before coming back as well, right?
Yep.
That's usually how it goes now.
Yeah, we did. We're thinking about doing a full, like almost a full week
A
this
full
year.
week.
Yeah, because a lot of the guys, a few of the guys did the Dragon last year.
Yeah, Tail the Dragon.
Yeah, Taylor Dragon. They loved it, and they really wanted to go back for longer because of that. And it's about an hour-ish out from where the show is.
Oh, it's not that far.
No, it's not very far. So it's always a good thing to do that trip because it's worth the drive. And there's dedicated photographers that are always on the Dragon taking photos. There's a page on Facebook dedicated to it. So you're always gonna get pretty cool shots of your car. Yeah, so it's pretty sick.
Photos.
Photos.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know. Today I learned. That's very insightful.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, all right. We'll go a little backwards because I'm just all over the place. My ADHD is running rampant right now. What made you get into this hobby of cars? Did you always like cars?
Yeah, ever since I was a kid, I used to have 2 friends, both older. They were kind of like older brothers to me.
Okay.
They were both very heavily into cars.
Okay.
One of them being the buyer of my S2000.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's still very, very heavily into cars, track. Yeah, they were kind of my inspiration to getting me into cars.
The S2000.
Yeah. Auto show was another.
Yeah.
It was auto show has kind of been like a family tradition For me, no, I've been going to auto show for like ever since I was a kid, right?
Okay.
My parents bought their first 1994 Corolla SE from the Canadian Auto Show off the floor.
Right off.
Yep, right off the floor.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's always been a family tradition for me.
Okay.
I went this year. I always go. No matter what, I go. I always end up going. I know a lot of times, some of the manufacturers, like last year didn't show up.
Yeah, a lot of the German
This year
ones.
was a little better, right? Some nice exotics this year, like Bugattis.
Yeah, that's right off of your Instagram page, right? That you're on.
Yeah. Very, very nice.
Okay, so auto show and your two friends, and then what car did you start with to start your career, if you will?
Career. I think my first car that I started actually modifying was my IS300.
You had an IS300.
I did. And after I had the baby and got married, I ended up selling it.
Oh.
I love that car.
Okay, let's talk about it. What was there to love about it? Then why you sell it? You love it so much.
Just didn't end up driving it anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Left and stayed in China for about 8 months, and it just sat on the driveway. And then after I came back, I was busy with the kid, and I just end up, didn't drive it as much. Kind of got out of cars at that point. More like
So approximately when was this at that point?
This was 2009.
2009.
10? Yeah.
Okay, so we're going back about 15 years.
Yeah, around that time.
And then, so you got a kid, you went back to China for a bit.
Yeah.
And then you're like, the car just kind of collecting dust.
Yeah, and then I ended up selling it. Odd thing was, like, I ended up, because it was a really rare spec. It was a black on black.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, black on black, 5-speed manual. And the guy who bought the car had the exact same car and automatic. Black on black. Yeah. But his car was like beat up. And he was like, I can't believe these are the exact same car, year, and everything. And he's like, I can't believe that. My IS was in really, really good shape.
First gen IS, right?
Yeah. First gen. 2003.
2003. What was done to it?
It was lowered, Gretty front lip. That's about it, actually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, intake, exhaust, full exhaust.
Okay.
So there wasn't much you could do to that car back in the day.
Unless you could do like JDM stuff, I guess, in that point.
Yeah. I mean, unless
a Tesla swap.
Yeah, things back then isn't what it is now. In terms of tuning, ECU options weren't as readily available as they are today. Right? You don't have as much options now where you have crazy amount of ECUs, Link, Haltech,
Motec,
Motec. Yeah, everything was like astronomical back in the day, right?
So it was a big deal.
It was, right? But then now you think about it in today's world, it's cheap. In comparison relative, everything's gone up. But back in the day, it seemed like it was very expensive because cars weren't as expensive back then. Right? Whereas now all cars are like astronomical. Right? I mean, who would have ever guessed that Civic Type R would be like, $70,000, $80,000. Nobody would ever imagine a Civic being $80,000.
Yeah, because I think even like an 05 Civic, 06, like the 8th gen Civic, brand new, out the door, fully loaded, non-SI, was like 20-ish.
Yeah, I had a coworker that bought like a touring Civic.
The new one, right?
Yeah, the new one. It was like 40K on the road.
It doubled. Yo, perspective. Put it into perspective. Yeah. It doubled.
I had a 1.6 EL. That was actually like the first car that I owned, like on my own.
Damn. 1.6.
And yeah, and even the 1.6 EL back in the day was only like on the road, I think it was like 28.
Yeah, and that was a Acura, fully
loaded. Top line premium,
leather
seat, sunroof, everything. And it wasn't anywhere near what things are nowadays.
Yeah. Okay.
It's yeah, like things like pricing, money wise, everything has gone like crazy.
Okay.
Hmm.
So then that's why the IS was just kind of like here and there, little bits in there, nothing too
Yeah.
crazy.
No, nothing crazy. It
Okay.
was hard to find parts too, right? Back then.
Oh, okay.
Wasn't
Oh,
as
yeah, true.
accessible. Most of the things were probably like JDM.
You had to import it, or you
Yeah,
didn't know someone that imports.
it was either if it was available, it would be from the States, but you know, back then a lot of the US made stuff weren't the prettiest. Yeah.
It's not. Yeah,
Yeah,
I get it.
you know.
Okay. So you sold that, and then what got you back into cars? Like, what did you do after that?
I ended up building like 2-track cars.
Oh, so you okay? Two
Yeah,
trackers.
I had two EKs.
Oh,
Yeah.
at the same time?
Yes, two at that time I had
Wait, why?
I bought my wife a GLK 350
Okay.
after the IS,
Okay.
and then I ended up buying an '08 STI. Had that for like maybe 6 months. I sold it.
Wow. Okay, that was short lived.
Yes, it was not a very good car.
Yeah, I know that. Explain.
That thing is really bad on gas too.
Yes, I know that part.
Yeah.
Is that why it was a bad car, or was it other things?
I would say so because and the other thing is like if it's not cobbed, the intelligent mode makes the car very unenjoyable to drive.
Oh wow.
Yes, I don't know if you know, but it feels like it's slow as poo.
Slow as doo doo. Slow as doo doo.
It feels
Guys.
slow as doo doo in intelligent mode.
Wow. Okay. What that'll be? What year would that be? What year? What
Oh, God.
generation?
What
What generation?
The car
is
was 08. Okay,
oh
I
08.
think that was maybe like 2011, 2012.
Okay, so the 08. Okay, so
Something like
before the last STI. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I only driven. So I got a chance to drive. I have a very bad experience with an STI as well. It's not even mine and my friends. Then he gave it to me to help him adjust coilovers. By the time I finished adjusting his height, I start the car. The engine knocks.
Oh.
I didn't even get to drive it yet.
Yeah.
I just got it on the hoist,
Yeah.
and I was adjusting his height.
Well, that's the thing. That 08 had our engine replacement at 64K stock. It was a very nice looking car. Perfect spec, Royal Valley Blue, gold BBS. Amazing looking car.
Sedan hatch?
Hatch.
Oh, the best.
Yeah. They only
the
had
best.
hatches back in 08.
Oh, it was only hatch.
Yeah, it was hatch only. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know. That's something I didn't know until today.
Yeah. And
I'm learning so much.
Yeah. And then I had the two EKs. I had a EK that I got. It was a trade-in when I was working at Mazda.
Okay.
Somebody just randomly traded it, and it was an EK hatch. Did a full paint job on it. It came with a B20 VTEC.
Oh, it was already engine swapped.
Yeah,
nice.
it was engine swapped. Quick little car. Then I ended up swapping in a fully built motor that was built by one of the like Honda gods back in the day.
Honda gods.
Turtle. Yeah, Turtle. Yeah. That motor was quick.
What was it?
It was a fully built GSR.
GSR motor. Oh, nice.
Yeah, high comp. Civic Type R pistons, full skunk to everything, port and polished head.
Oh, it was a heavily modified car.
It was. Yeah, it made about 200 wheel horsepower, which is pretty.
That's a lot.
Pretty good, yeah, back in the day. Yeah.
That's. I think that's near peak because GSR was a B16, right? Or was it
no 18,
a stroked
18?
18.
Yeah, 18.
Right. It's just it was the B18.
Yeah.
And they made 200 wheel.
Yeah.
So that's a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But why is there two EKs in this situation? I'm still trying to figure out.
I don't know.
How...
It just.
So you bought the first one that from your Mazda working.
And then one of my buddies, Billy, he ended up he was selling his
EK.
Yes, he didn't want it anymore. And the good part about his was it had more stuff done in terms of it was also white and it had a B18C Type R.
Oh, okay.
Right, and it had like spoon exhaust and stuff like that. So.
Oh, okay. I see where this is going.
It was one of the best sounding cars I've ever owned. The first EK, I did a full custom exhaust. Do not ever buy stuff to R&D your own car, because that's what I kind of did with that first DK, and I learned my lesson, wasting a lot of money to try and gain minimal power. So I wasted a lot of dyno time, wasted a lot of modifications to a dumb header that I had ended up buying, and chopping here, chopping there, doing a full 3-inch exhaust, this and that. Just wasted a whole bunch of money to gain almost minimal horsepower.
And then when you bought your friends, it was...
at that point, it was... I didn't care about... Because I was already... I was like, I already knew what type of numbers that the stock P18C Type R would make anyway, right?
Okay, so you were already like, we're done. Now you're just going to enjoy
that
the
car. Was more about the VTEC Symphony. Perfect spoon end one with B18C Type R sound-wise when the VTEC cracks.
So that's all you needed.
That's all you needed.
A Type R motor with spoon and one exhaust. That's all you needed.
Full spoon exhaust. That's all you need.
Wow, fancy.
Yeah.
Okay, so that car was I guess you bought your friend's car and it's done already at that point. But did you build your first?
No, I did more to it. I ended up building more, and I did kind of like a spoon clone on it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I ended up doing like Civic Type R headlights and stuff like that. Spoon spoiler, yeah, spoon mirrors, stuff like that. Yeah, it was a good car, and man, if you can imagine the prices of EKs now in comparison, I sold that car, even just the parts alone. I mean, like right now, B18C Type R motor is like 10 grand US probably.
I seen them on the market floating around 6K for just the no accessories, just the long block, no accessories.
Yeah, I sold that car for what, 6K?
That was the engine.
Crazy.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And that was how long you had those cars for then?
A few years. Did a lot of tracking.
You tracked both?
I ended up, after I got the white one, I ended up selling the green one.
Okay.
Not too long after.
So the green one is your first one you bought with the okay.
Yeah.
And then you sold it off, and then you had the white one left.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I had the white one.
Did you track the white one, or was it?
Yes, I did.
And then what's the difference between the two cars? There had to be differences.
Yeah, there was. I put on Zeal coilovers with like crazy spring rates on the white car. And I remember going down the 407. The only thing that was flexing, and I was running 15-inch tires at the time, and the only thing that was flexing and it was the tires.
The car.
It was the most back-breaking drive of my life back in the day. Doing a drive from from home to Cayuga, oh man, your back was blown out with a bucket seat. It was bad.
And it had buckets.
Yeah, it was very.
Oh no.
20, I think it was 24 and 22K springs. Ooh,
you want a race car setup?
It was bad.
Oh my lord.
Yep.
And okay, well, that car's gone. You sold it.
Yeah, I ended up selling that, and I ended up having an opportunity to pick up the S2000.
Okay, so now we're talking about the S2000.
Yeah.
Okay.
I ended up picking up that car from a friend, and started rebuilding it.
So when you pick up the car, what condition was it in?
It had a spoon hard top, which I didn't really like because you can't open the trunk.
Oh yeah.
Without taking the back off.
Yeah, because it swoops all the way down.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it had just like these two like pull latches on the inside. It was kind of annoying.
Okay.
Yeah, very annoying. So I ended up selling the spoon hard top because I was like, why do people put hard tops on a convertible?
I wanted
to buy a convertible to have a convertible, right?
To drop the top and have the air in my hair.
Exactly. It's so much nicer to have the top down.
Okay. All right. So you actually got rid of the spoon hard top.
Yeah, I got rid of the spoon hard top. It was supercharged
Oh, it was supercharged.
Yes, when I first got it was supercharged. And I ended up doing a full custom turbo build on it.
So you went from supercharged to turboing the car.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. That's why you're daddy.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah, it's just from at that time. We were very into like racing each other all the time.
Okay.
Bunch of guys. We were all in the same circle of. We were all very competitive. You know, we like joking around about who's faster. You know.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Let's go.
Yeah,
Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, man. So it was fun times. Yeah, turbo F22 ended up making around 420 wheel at first with the GT3076
Okay.
Garrett. Later on swapped to 3576.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh no, yeah, 3576, and it made around 477. If I
Nice.
remember.
That sounds modest.
Yeah. Boosted S2 is quick. Very, very quick.
Quick to legal speeds, yes.
Yes. It's a very, very fun car to drive. Probably one of the best handling cars I've personally ever driven.
And that's with experience of the Civics too, eh?
Yeah, yeah. It's a very, very damn good car. Everyone who sells one ends up regretting it and then getting back into another one and then selling it and another one.
They keep going.
They keep going.
They keep coming back for more.
Yeah, they do. They do. I've gotten to the point where I've gone back to one yet, but
You think about it?
I do miss the car. I do.
You think about it. That's
I would, but the prices of them have gone into like collector car level, right? For some, like the CRs have gone insane.
Oh, the CRs are 6 figures apparently.
Oh yeah, there's many CRs in the States that have sold for well above 6 figures.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Right. No one would have ever guessed that either.
No, it's a Honda.
Yeah.
Why are we selling it if it's a freaking BMW, like a Lexus?
Yeah.
No, sorry,
everybody makes fun of Hondas, but then you'd never guess. You'd have 6-figure Civics and 6-figure, S2000.
$80,000 Integra Type R's.
I remember there was a yellow EK9 at auction. I think that sold for $144K. It was a yellow EK9 last year with 5,000 kilometers.
Oh my lord.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. No one would ever imagine,
Okay. How did the S2000 become this? Like, where did that transition come from?
I tracked the car at first when I got it.
Okay.
One of the reasons why I got rid of the supercharger because I really hated how the supercharger performed.
What happens? Why was it bad?
I think maybe it might have been just the design of the ComTech kit where the pulley system was not very well designed.
Okay.
And as soon as you track the car and the belt heated up, it slipped.
Oh.
Yeah. There wasn't much options that you could deal with back in the day because you're only running like a six rib belt, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's way too thin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, once it gets hot and you track it, it slips. That's about that. And then after I ended up just really, really hating the supercharger because of I wasn't enjoying. And then also once the supercharger like heat soaks, you feel like you don't have a charger anymore.
It just sits there.
Yeah, it's just flat, right? And you're just getting destroyed. It becomes like more of a hinder than really an addition in performance, I feel. And after the turbo build, yeah, I stopped tracking the car. And I stopped.
Okay.
And J-Spec Larry was like, "Hey man, did you want to bring the car, for a show?" I think the first one I entered was Artefa.
Oh wow, Artefa.
Yeah, back then. I think it was Artefa. Yeah, it was at that
It'd be in Vaughan area, no?
Yeah, I think it was in Vaughan.
Yeah, or we
was that a convention center? I can't remember where. No, it was before that.
That's how long ago it was. Okay.
Yeah. It was before that. Yeah, and then after that, I kind of got hooked on shows. You know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you went from stop tracking the car to just going to show car
build the
status.
show cars, right? Like, yeah,
Okay.
it was enjoyable. You know, different kind of fun. At first, you know, winning is cool at shows, but some people are a little bit too serious about trying to win trophies. Once you get to a certain point, if you have many at home,
oh wow.
No. It's just you get to the point where it's like it's not about that anymore, right?
Yeah.
Like I mean, for me, I enjoy spending the time with good people like you and many others, right? I love seeing you guys at at shows and stuff to chat, shoot the shit kind of thing.
Yeah.
I rather enjoy the time, just meeting people. It's kind of like nowadays at when the cops aren't too happy about us at the beginning of every season, right? They always have to do their show and tell at the beginning of every season and give everybody as many tickets as they want. And then eventually that dies down to the end of this mid-end season.
Yeah.
Right? It's good to have the shows where you can kind of have like a safe space to, meet everybody up and hey, what's up, man? Long time no see.
Just to catch up with people.
Yeah, for me, it's about that and just having people enjoy what you've built, right? It's better than that. I feel, I had a friend. We were having dinner last night, and he was like, "Hey, man, like, your car is the RX-7 is even well known in the Philippines," and I'm like, "No way!" I'm like, "Come on."
You're
right?
international now.
Yeah, and I obviously I was at Tokyo Auto Salon this year earlier.
Yeah.
Last month, and I met up with a lot of the Japanese RX-7 guys. And they're super cool dudes, super cool guys. Yeah, one of the guys ended up making me a laser burnt picture of my own car.
Oh yeah, I think I saw in your story.
Yeah, it was super cool, right? And he also owns a TCP Magic RX-7 in blue. Very, very, very nice car. And they're just, Japanese people are just super nice people.
Hospitality.
100%. 100%. Every single one of them I met. And there's some crazy, crazy nice builds. That's also kind of like, you see how Japan is kind of evolving as well.
Yes.
In the way they build their show cars. Because you're seeing the quality difference now in how people build show cars, and in the States where I would say most people would consider kind of like WECFest and some of the top tier US shows being kind of like the top, like the highest standard in terms of build quality and cars that you would judge and stuff like that. And now you see kind of how WECFest kind of integrated and moved to Japan as well. Having that show there has really, I would say, changed the way that the cars in general are built in the States now. Like before, with all the Japanese tuners and stuff, everything is kind of just built in terms of, let's say, for example, engine bay. It's just like, functionality, right? You just have, brand name Gretty, this, Jay's Racing, that, everywhere. But nothing to the level of, tucked and shaved bays, fully painted, polished, everything, or engraving, intake manifolds and stuff like that. Now at WECFest Japan and stuff, you will start seeing a lot of cars where they have that.
Yeah.
Right? They have the rye wire, tuck harness and fully tucked and shaved bay. They're getting into that type of detail in terms of building show cars. And it's very, very impressive to see how, you know, the North American versus the JDM are like kind of merging styles now. Right? Like I visited Moontech, and they built a lot of SEMA cars.
Okay.
Right. And I got to see some of their builds in Japan at their shop. Incredible. Incredible.
High quality.
It's top-notch quality.
Top-notch
Fitment
quality.
also, like it's perfect. It's not over the top stancy, but you have the perfect stance, and it has that, you know, that kind of like that touring car track look in the front with, you know, the nice negative camber, right? And then, you know, it's their builds, even in SEMA, when you look at, you know, the past couple of years of the cars that they've put in SEMA are just top notch.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, because I had thought of a question just now too. These are all the cars that you just mentioned right now are all like shop car builds that are top notch.
Yep.
But what about like the non-shop cars? Like Wreckfest is a lot of personal cars that go in there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you see the same sort of quality there as well, where you can see that the game, like the level of building cars, has also gone up?
I think in general, yeah. I don't think Wreckfest has that many, like in Japan, when the show hits, I don't think it's that many like cars that enter Wreckfest that are actually like shop cars.
Yeah, it's usually.
But there's a lot of, like a lot of them are customer cars.
Yeah.
Right? They're not personal shop cars. I would say most of the personal shop cars are more into the Tokyo Auto Salon.
That's the biggest
stuff.
show, right?
Yeah, it's huge. It's massive. Anybody who goes, take the full 3 days. It's so much walking and stuff.
Is it kind of the same size as like our Canadian Auto Show size?
Hell no. It's
bigger?
Way bigger.
Way bigger.
Way bigger.
Oh wow.
Way bigger.
Because the auto show's like 3 floors already or something.
Yeah, no, it's
just even bigger.
It's way bigger.
Wow.
Way bigger. Like the halls are massive.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It was so overwhelming because I was like, oh crap, we only spent 1 day there. It was not enough.
You didn't see everything.
No, we did not. It was a lot of rushing, just getting picture, video, this and that. Just way too overwhelming. If you're not spending the full day there, it was like a double like hall. So it was one big hall this way and then another big hall that way. And it was literally from the one end of the hall to walk to the other one to the end was 20 to 30 minutes. It was pretty ridiculous.
Just to walk.
It was a lot of walking. Like you'd have to speed walk a lot to get there faster. But if you were walking like slowly, and obviously there's a ton of people,
and you also have to look at the cars, you're not just gonna cut right through.
You know what I mean? Like it's a lot of walking. You spending a full day there almost goes by so fast you just don't even notice it. Right? Yeah, like my recommendation, if anybody was to go, like spend the full 3 days.
Actually, all 3 days.
Yeah, because then you actually get to absorb everything. Right? There's just so much to look at. Like one booth on some of the like the bigger booth or some of the bigger like brands might have like like 15 cars, 20 cars or something. Like
top secret in though?
Yeah.
There's a lot of GTRs I saw.
Yeah. You know, some of the cars have like some of the brands have like so many builds. It's nuts. All right. Yeah. I ended up I bought a lot of stuff at DAD. Right.
The dad.
Yeah, the dad. Bought a lot of dad stuff for the dad mobile. And yeah, they're super nice people too, right? I ended up getting a chance to visit their headquarters.
Oh, DAD headquarters?
Yeah, DAD had headquarters in Osaka. It was kind of pretty cool.
Oh, they're from Osaka?
Yeah. Their headquarters in Osaka. They
Today I
actually picked me up. I took a train down. And
oh wow.
yeah, it was like
VIP service.
yeah, it was very VIP service. Because I ended up there was a part I wanted to buy. They didn't have it at the show. They ordered it in for the next day, and then one of their employees accidentally sold it on me. So when I went back to pick it up, they didn't have it, and they were like, "Oh crap!" And then I was like, "Oh, it doesn't matter. I'm on my way to Osaka, the next week." So I ended up just going there for a visit anyway.
And then they had it then though.
Yeah, they had everything there.
Would you end up buying all those stuff there?
No, it was just a dash mat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it was pretty cool. Got to see a lot of their product lineup.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was.
It's all bling, eh?
Yeah, it's very bling. Their stuff is very, very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think their lineup in terms of products is a lot bigger than some of the other VIP brands like Junction Produce and stuff like that.
Junction Produce is they just have a lot of random. I find them a lot of random stuff, and then realistically, Junction Bro is mostly known for the knots, right?
Yeah,
and the Hello Kitty fragrance.
Yeah, there's not a lot of their lineup is definitely product wise not as big.
So DAD has way more.
I would say so, yeah, way more, and I'm surprised. Like a lot of people who was at Tokyo Awesome buying stuff were like Asian, Hong Kong, Chinese.
Like they were like they flew in basically.
Yeah,
so
it was because
not local.
Yeah, because Tokyo Awesome, I met up with a couple of guys that I've been talking online with for a long time. One of my good friends from Malaysia, and then another good friend from he's Shanghai, Hong Kong, right, back and forth. And I met both of them at Tokyo Auto.
Mr. International,
super cool.
Friends everywhere.
No, just we all share the same passion, right?
Yeah,
and we all have and they both have both RX-7 and S2000s at one point in time.
That's so interesting.
Yes. So it's super cool to be able to go halfway across the world to meet people you've never met before in real life. Right?
That's actually pretty cool.
It's actually really cool, right? And the other cool experience with it is when you're at Tokyo Auto Salon during that weekend or the week of, actually there's a lot of meets. So you're running around different car meets like a headless chicken. We went the night we went to the auto salon, we ended up going to a Chronicles meet, and it was really wild because
like Sticky Dojo Chronicles.
They made it like in the opposite complete direction of the Tokyo Auto Salon.
What do you mean?
It was like a 3-hour subway ride. The opposite end.
Like the show and where the
yeah, like physically it was so far from the show.
Oh my lord.
It was hectic to get to.
Okay.
Yeah, but man, that was one of probably the best meets I've ever seen. Organized. It was at like a small little outdoor go-kart track.
Okay.
Yeah, they had a lot of YouTube celebrities there. Yeah.
I mean, expected. Yeah. Okay.
Hannah Boo Boo, and I saw a lot of different YouTubers. And the cars, in terms of build quality wise, at that show was top notch. Many of the cars were top notch.
Nice.
Very, very.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
we just went off tangent again with car show stuff because we didn't even go to. We just finished talking about S2000. I didn't even get to the part where you wide body the car yet.
Oh no! When I bought the car, it came with it.
Oh, so there was your body kit.
It came with it, but it was very poorly installed.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yes, and I ended up fixing everything back again myself.
Okay.
Properly. Although I still probably didn't do the best of job.
Could have been better.
Could have been better. Now it's better.
Ah.
My friend owns the car and he's like a super body guy.
Okay, good.
Repainting the car. The car is like Lambo purple now with perfect body work. Yeah.
So after you sold that, did the RX-7 come in first, or was it the Civic?
No, RX-7 first.
The RX-7
Yeah,
first.
RX-7 first, and then the Civic came after. Yeah.
And what made you go like, I want an FD? Because we were just talking so much shit about it earlier.
I've always wanted an FD. It's
Uh-huh.
always been one of my dream cars, not only because of Initial D, but even way before that.
It's just a good looking car.
It is a very good looking car. It's like the body style of the FD is like timeless.
Yeah.
It still looks good even till today for a car that's like an early 90s.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Like it's lived up in terms of styling wise, even stock body, not even as crazy as mine.
Yeah.
For example, like it still looks so damn good.
Dude,
just lowered with rims.
That's all it like.
That's
I
all
think
it needs.
I'm not a big fan of wide bodies just because I don't like the idea of chopping the car. That's just kind of my way of looking at things. If I have to chop the car, I'll feel bad.
Yeah.
So if I have a wide body in my car, it's either A, the car has some really bad rust on it and I got to chop it anyways.
Yeah.
Or the car's been written off once and I'm just like, at this point, whatever.
Yeah.
Right? But yeah, honestly, no matter what you do to an RX-7, it'll always look good.
Sometimes. Some body kits are not the greatest looking.
RE Mamiya.
The RE kits are pretty nice, but they do have some of the weirder ones that people are,
the one that looked like
fun of.
The one that looked like a 959. That's my fun. The one that looked like a real Porsche with the round lights.
Yeah.
That one trips me out every time.
Yeah, that one's trippy, but it if done right it looks pretty good.
I think it's just that the rear it looks too flat.
Yeah.
It made it too long and too flat. If you had like a wing on it or something, I think it would have been a better vision. Like it would look more race car.
So it depends, right? Depends on everybody's styling on how they preferences, how they want to, incorporate different stuff. But yeah, I mean, I would say 95% of the body kits on the market are pretty damn nice for FDs, and there's so many of them, right?
It's so weird to think of this, right? The car it's not a it didn't sell very well overall.
Yeah.
Compared to like a lot of the other cars. But yet there's such a big fan base and cult following behind it.
The band name came from the rotary engine, right?
Yeah. But it's crazy to see how many people are like supporting the car.
But that's the thing. So times are different. Like I said, I was talking earlier about like, the IS and the tuning. So, before everybody was kind of tuning with the Power FC on RX-7s, and I was kind of probably one of the only options that were available, right? Now you have everything and anything, right?
Oh, the Viper swap one recently?
No, it's just in terms of like not just swapping. I'm just saying like in terms of tunability, right? You got your whole tech. You got your Adaptronic, which is I think outdated now. Nobody really uses those anymore. You have your Link ECU. You just many different standalones that can fine tune. But that was, I think, the bad rap that a lot of got a lot of people who mod cars to stay away from, because it was just not that many people knew how to fix them, not that many people knew how to tune them. And they're pretty much from factory guaranteed to blow up.
Yeah.
Right? Like an RX-8, they're pretty common to blow up.
Yeah.
Right? But now you have those, high-end standalones. It has all the safeties to keep the engine. And then like obviously now the Apex seals are new.
Yeah, they're better.
They're unbreakable, right? You're not gonna get.
Oh, they became that strong now.
Oh yeah. A lot
no
of
longer
them are unbreakable. No, they don't shatter anymore. Not like the OEM ones, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you just it times have changed in terms of performance parts. And also in Australia they're very huge on rotaries.
Yes.
Right. And now you got companies where you'd have your billet built cars. Billet motors, like your 2-rotor, 3-rotor, 4-rotor, 5-rotor, 6-rotor.
I've seen 6-rotor. That was crazy.
But the thing is like you get into the point where those are kind of like astronomical in terms of pricing for an engine swap.
Yeah.
Power versus dollar, it's very hard to make it make sense.
Yeah.
Right? Like if I was to do like a 3-rotor swap, nowadays, you're probably looking at like maybe 50K.
Like with parts.
Yeah, parts, modification, supporting parts, the engine. Obviously, if you buy a 3-rotor from out of a Cosmo stock, you're gonna have the same issues where you need to rebuild the engine, right? So then you're gonna end up, with like just the engine rebuild, all that stuff. You're gonna probably be like 20-30K in. And then you got your supporting mods, your intake, manifolds, custom work, piping, all that other jazz that goes along with it. It just adds up more and more and more, and it's for the amount of gas, because like they need huge injectors.
Yes.
Right. Like even my car at about 400-ish horsepower, I'm running 800 primaries and 1600 secondary CC injectors.
Oh, wow.
Right. Which on top of that, if you were running 3-rotor, 4-rotor, some of these cars who are running big power are into the tens of 20,000 cc injectors.
Like we're talking about liters now. They're not talking about cc's anymore.
Yeah, it's like an insane amount. You know what I mean? Like if you're running like, let's say 2,000 cc injectors on a 4-rotor, that's crazy. You know what I mean? Like
every script school.
Yeah, it's just like you're running like 16,000 cc injector, like worth of injectors, right?
Yeah.
It's a crazy amount, right? And 4-rotor, it's definitely a dream for everybody.
I love that dream to be real.
Yes, and me too. But it's just like price-wise is so astronomical. It's just not within reach for a lot of people because like a 4-rotor swap is like 100K plus.
After said and done, that's the cost of. You can buy 2 RX-7s at that point.
You can buy an NSX.
You can buy an NSX.
You can buy a lot of things.
A 964.
Yeah, you can buy a lot of things, right? Is it
you
worth
buy
it?
A home.
Yeah, you can buy a home. In the States, you can buy a home.
Yeah.
Right? Is it worth it at that point to do just an engine swap? And at that point, like you also have to do a lot of custom work because it doesn't, like everybody wants that 787B sound, but you really have to figure out how it's done.
Yeah.
Because it's not like you throw a 4-rotor in and it instantly sounds like a 787.
No,
it's not. Right? I've had a chat with the TCP Magic owner, and he's obviously Mad Mike's personal mechanic.
Yeah.
And he builds all his cars, and even he said like they've gone through some of the cars where the cars have the 4-rotor, and they've had to go through revisions of the exhaust system to get the right sound. Right? And they don't always sound like that. And a lot of people are like, how come I put in the 4-rotor and it doesn't sound like a 787? It doesn't have that high pitch F1 sound, right? And that's kind of, to the point where you have to play around with it to get the right note. And that, again, also is money into the factor, it plays into the amount of money you need to spend to get what you want. So it's a hard conversation to discuss. And it's hard even if you had money, right?
Yeah, because
to drop 100K on an engine swap it's pretty crazy, right? And in terms of like power for dollar, if you do an NA 4-rotor, you're probably making 500-600 NA, which is a lot, right? Don't get me wrong.
It's a lot of power.
It's a lot. And if you end up, boosting a 4-rotor, obviously you're gonna make crazy power.
Yeah.
Right. Anything under 10 psi, you're over 1,000 horsepower on 4-rotor almost, right?
Yeah.
But it gets to the point where it's like, okay, that kind of makes sense, but where are you really going to use the power? What are you doing with it? It's a cool show and tell.
Yeah.
Sounds really cool.
It's unique for sure.
It's unique, but if you're building a show car, to throw in $100K on a swap, unless if you're balling, it's not happening for most people.
Yeah.
Right? Because like, dumping $100K on a build, it's not abnormal. A lot of people dump 100,000, but that you're talking about including the car.
Yeah.
And then after you build everything, this and that, then ending up over 100K.
It's a full car for 100K, basically.
For most people, right?
Yeah.
And imagine spending 100K just to build
just a motor,
just the engine. Yeah.
You didn't do the body yet.
It's insane, right? And you got American Muscle motors that you can buy for 20,000-30,000 twin turbo LS.
Dude, LS are so cheap, relatively speaking.
I would say so.
Yeah, like compared to like get an LS3 even. An LS3 alone makes like 4 something.
Yeah, easy.
And then if you get an LS7 and you strap a supercharger to it,
as sacrilege as it is to put an LS in JDM cars, but it just makes sense, right? Yeah. In terms of power. For what you are, if you're looking for power for dollar, it's definitely one of the best. But now a lot of people are getting into K swaps too.
Yeah.
Right? K is pretty good power for dollar.
It is. So you still get that Japanese high revving engine. That's the thing. But I'm just saying, a fun fact was K motor and LS motor, the weight difference between them is like a couple pounds only.
Yeah.
For, but you get a V8 versus a 4-cylinder, so it's like.
Yeah, I know. But if you boost Ks, they're pretty reliable.
Yeah.
At 400 wheel or so stock.
And you can rev to like 8-9 grand.
Yeah, an open block, they're pretty bulletproof.
Yeah.
But yeah, it really depends. If you want to keep it JDM, I would do a K.
You do a K?
Personally, yeah, I would do a K.
Ks are a good look.
They are.
And you can. I like the idea of Ks because you can rev them out.
Yeah. The other thing is like the engine bay still has a lot of space for you to do. Nice
with
stuff.
With the K motor, you say?
Yeah, with a K, right? They're smaller, more compact. LS is like almost you throw them in almost any car. It looks super.
It just
jammed.
takes up.
It takes up the whole
engine bay. Yeah.
Right, jams everything up. Especially like I've seen people who've done LS swaps and FDs and.
Yeah.
It takes so much of the engine bay because the engine bay is not very big.
Yeah.
So it ends up not being very aesthetically pleasing, in my opinion. With, let's say, that K swap and an FD, you have a lot more room to play with. A lot of stuff.
Imagine wire tucked, shaved bay.
Definitely.
Now you suddenly get a clean engine bay.
Yeah.
Just the motor standing there.
Yeah. Definitely can easily have a show bay.
How did your 8th gen Civic or CSX? Which one was it?
It's a Civic.
It's a Civic.
Yeah, it was.
How did that car come to be? Where did you suddenly went? I'm gonna buy one.
Oh, well, in our circle, one of our guys was building one.
Okay.
And we were joking around. In terms of whose car was going to be winning an award at shows.
Okay.
And then I just ended up picking it up as a daily.
wait, hold on. Wait.
Yeah.
Did you pick it up as it is?
I did. I bought it off of a good friend.
Okay.
Yes.
But then did you enter the car in shows?
I did for a little bit. Just for fun, a couple of shows. But then it ended up the other friend who we were having a friendly competition with, his car took a while to finish.
So it never really.
Yeah, so we never really got the competition going on, and I ended up selling it because I wasn't driving it anymore.
Yeah, I mean now you have yours.
Yeah, I got the Dadmobile.
Can you pull the picture of the Dadmobile, please?
Yes.
My favorite.
Your favorite.
My favorite. I know. I'm sorry, but my favorite. This is my favorite. Your RX-7's cool, but how do you say no to that?
It's a pretty. I this is my third one, and honestly, it's one of the best dailies.
It does everything.
It does everything. You carry 8 people,
Mm-hmm.
you know, put full luggage to the airport, whatever you need to do. Camping.
Everything.
Everything.
It's so, and it looks so good.
I've done everything in this thing.
And it looks so good while doing it too.
It does. And I do get a lot of looks, you know, on the highway and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
With it.
Look how it.
Yeah.
BBSLMs and all.
Those are not. Those are works.
Oh, they're works.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're like the bigger version of the
VSSX.
Meister VSSX.
Yeah, so it's bigger
They're
than
like
that.
I can't remember the name. W something W10.
Oh, I always thought they were LMs because I'm like, oh,
no. I have the Rep LMs for winter.
Oh, okay. So you okay?
Yeah.
That's winter. Who cares?
Yeah.
Summertime. And it's on bags too.
Yeah.
Is this side skirt in the OEM Toyota sports sedan?
No. The City Cruiser side skirts.
Oh, City Cruiser.
Yeah, City Cruiser side skirt, City Cruiser rear bumper. Yeah.
I
Did a fun trip in this car too.
Yeah.
I flew out to Calgary to grab this.
Grab the van?
Yeah. I drove it back 3,500 kilometers.
Why did you go to Calgary to pick up?
Dude, at the time it was like COVID, and
yeah,
the market locally was just insane.
I have a good story to tell you about that too, because my business partner had a LE.
Okay.
But here's a caveat to it: it is an LE limited without the sport package stuff and all that stuff. But the reason why he bought it is because he didn't want the all-wheel drive.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted the captain seats.
Okay.
So he literally had to. At this point he was ready to buy, but the problem is he couldn't find one with the captain seat. And finally, that light blue color, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
One showed up with the exact option, and then he picked it up, and it was still like a $30,000 car at that point.
It was at the time when I got into an accident after I came back from GAT the first year.
Oh, okay.
And I totaled my van.
Oh.
And that's why I ended up looking for a new one.
Mm-hmm.
And dude, at the time, it was like I was looking for months.
Yeah, it's hard to find a right one.
Yes, it took me 3 months to find this van.
Because you wanted it for this spec, I'm assuming.
Yes, and I was looking at locally at the time any SE. So my first two that I had was 2012.
Okay.
And I wanted something that was 2015 and up because it had the updated interior.
Yes.
Right. So locally in the GTA area, I was looking at 2015 with probably like an absurd amount of kilometers. Like, yeah, I'm not kidding. Like everything at that time was like probably 200K.
Yeah.
Right, 200K kilometers. They were selling for 24 to 25,000.
So we talked about that van. So it was like about 30 grand.
Yeah.
2 years later, he upgraded to the new hybrid Sienna.
Mm-hmm.
They bought it back for the same price.
Yeah, I totally believe it.
Oh my lord!
Right, like that was crazy because like when I crashed mine,
yeah,
it was a 2012 and it had 250K almost, I think.
2012 is still this model, is it, or is it the previous model?
It's still this model.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but the 2011 was the first gen on this model.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think I bought it that would have been like 7 years ago when I got that one. And I bought it for, I think it had like 46,000 kilometers and I bought it for 24K.
Okay.
Right. When I totaled it, the insurance after 7 years and driving pretty much 200,000 kilometers on top, they gave me $21,000.
The most valuable car ever.
When they told me the number, I was like, what? I was like, in my mind, I was expecting like,
10.
Maybe 15.
15 max.
Yeah. Right. I was like, what?
20?
Yeah, I was like, what?
Hello?
Yeah, like imagine losing $3,000
in 7 years.
Drive a car in 7 years, driving at 200,000 kilometers.
Yeah. That's crazy.
It's crazy.
I love these things right now.
Yeah, at that time, the inflation of the cars with the shortage after COVID was so crazy that everything was like, right? You could sell anything. I helped my neighbor, and she ended up like, I don't know, for whatever reason, she's like, help me sell my car, and I'm like, okay, no problem, I'll help you sell your car. I posted her car online on Facebook Marketplace. One of the dealers reached out to me.
Yes.
And it was Chrysler 200C or something.
Oh, okay.
Right. Like the Dodge Neon.
Yeah.
The newer version.
Yeah.
She bought it for 20, I think it was like 21,000 or something.
Okay.
Right. But the thing had very like super low mileage, like 24,000 kilometers.
Oh, okay.
Right. The dealership messaged me, and they were offering the same amount. She bought it new.
That's great.
And for whatever reason, her daughter was like, no, we don't want to sell it. I'm like, what?
What?
Yeah. I'm like, how often are you gonna get the chance to unload an American car that's discontinued, that nobody ever really wanted to buy, cared about, and get almost brand new cost price? What are you thinking?
Well, dude, it's literally, you can't get any better than this.
You can't. That scenario, it's crazy. How would you not do it?
That's so funny.
Yeah, and then I was like, it wasted like a month of my time advertising the car, and then making the deal with the dealership, and they were literally like, okay, we're gonna send somebody down to come pick up the car today, and then I was like,
sight unseen, like, I'm just gonna pick it up.
They didn't care.
Yeah.
They did not care. They literally, at that time, the shortage was so bad, nobody gave a crap. They just bought anything and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Because every dealership was fighting for cars, and even like new car dealerships were not even selling their own brand cars. They were selling used cars because there was just so much money in them.
Kenny tried to buy my BRZ.
Mm-hmm.
He tried to buy it for more than I bought it for, and I was this close and tempted to sell to him. He didn't even care if I had the cat. He's like, I'll figure it out. If you just sell it to me for this price, I'll take it. I'm like,
that's what I'm saying. Like at that time, if you made the right decision to kind of get out of whatever you wanted to get out of it, like you could have sold anything at that time.
I know. I didn't care to sell my BRZ. It was more so the fact that Kenny, because I was visiting Kenny to give him something. He saw the car. He's like, man.
Kenny wanted the Sienna too.
Yeah, I know.
As I bought it.
Kenny's like, yo, let me buy it. I'll give more money than you.
And I was like, no.
Kenny's so funny.
Yeah.
Shouts out to Kenny.
Kenny's a great guy, man.
I should get him on the podcast too.
You should. He's famous, bro.
Daddy Kenny, bro.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna talk to him later about this.
You should.
But yeah. But see the Sienna, my favorite car.
Yeah.
Why don't you? You should enter this into the show. So
after buying all the DAD stuff for the interior, I might.
Please.
I might.
Please.
But the thing is, like, just for fun, right?
I know.
Yeah, it's different. It's just something different.
We're not doing it trying to win. At this point, I think you're beyond that now.
Yeah, I don't care.
You're just going for the vibes and the meeting the people. You're going to the show for the sake of going to the show because people are there. Yep. It's no longer about competition anymore for you.
Yeah.
You win, cool. I don't win, Let's be real, right?
I mean, I like one of the cooler things in terms of seeing the next generations of kids, like people's kids, taking pictures with your car. I've let a lot of kids sit in the car, right? I've seen them, looking at it, and they're like, and I love inspiring the next generation to continue because I really don't want car, like, modification wise, to die out.
Me too. Right? I get it. I get that.
And I feel as though sometimes a lot of, like, not a lot of shows, but I mean, like, some of the shows, they tend to kind of kill off the vibes for people to continue, right? Because
I get what you're saying.
Some shows do not really judge fairly.
It's favoritism.
And I find that's a very big killer in terms of people are like, you know what? If it's gonna be like this, forget it. I'm just gonna stop building. Why am I wasting all this money when I can, start a family, build, buy a house?
Yeah.
Put my money elsewhere rather than throwing all this money into this car and taking the car there. And you know what? And I get it. It's just like, it's not about the trophy. Sometimes it's just about disrespect, right? It's about like, a lot of people, they built their own cars, and the blood and sweat and that you throw, all the cuts and stuff you get from building it, and the time spent, and then you go to show and they don't know how to judge.
They get a stock car winning.
Yeah, or it's just like not even a stock car. I'm just saying, like, in terms of quality of parts, stuff like that. I feel a lot of times it should matter, but then it's like sometimes you get these judges who are like, I don't know what they're looking at. Do Amazon full parts catalog cars matter more than quality builds? Right? Because if I was a judge, I would never look at cars like that.
It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't. It's not just only about being the flashiest car in the world. It has to look flow. It has to, not just having, yes, I understand in terms of the judging aspect of things. There's always a checklist of things to go through. But even beyond that, in some cases, sometimes I think you have to look beyond that checklist, right? Because in terms of quality of build, I would look at cars with genuine parts over cars have, replica parts, replica rims, replica, whatever.
Yeah.
Right? And to me, that's a very big no, because you think about the trickle effect of how that affects the market, right?
Yeah.
Right. It's like, okay, you're starting to get people who lose interest because you're going to these, shows that don't judge fairly or properly, and then they feel like they get disrespected. It's happened to me, and it kills, like, it's another car, another person who doesn't want to build is another customer loss for you, anybody.
Yeah.
All right. Any shops who are trying to, build a customer base
and sell
it's
parts,
another customer that's gone
because they don't care anymore.
They don't, right? And they and in today's world, think about it. Okay, like, I'm spending all this money to build a modified car. There's a lot of like negatives towards it. To cops bothering you. Why not just buy a 600-700 horsepower factory car?
Just me go buy an M3.
Yeah, right.
Why am I spending M3 money to build a car when I can just buy the M3?
Right? You gotta buy an M3, and then you get your bolt-ons and your tune, and you're making 600-700 horsepower.
Or don't do that. It's
right.
Just
fine. Just stock is fine.
That's also because let's be really, M3 is too fast.
Yeah,
it's way too fast.
Those cars are ridiculous.
It's too much. It's too much.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Right. Like it. I feel like that's a huge downside to some of the shows in Toronto.
I get it.
Yeah, they kind of need to work on that a little bit.
Because you see, one thing is about buying parts that are not hype. Example, Jay's Racing, Spoon is one thing to not buy those things because it's like not everyone can afford $1,000 exhaust.
Yeah,
let's be real, right? Some people can't. That's just bottom line. But they still want to be involved in the hobby, like building a car. It's like building anything, right? You can buy lower tier stuff and have a build, or you can buy high tier stuff.
Don't get me wrong. I haven't, like, it's great. Like everyone starts somewhere,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, I'm not saying in the sense of having you have to do a full catalog build on the car.
Yeah.
No, you don't have to, but it's a hobby that everybody can enjoy in their own way. But when you enter your car into a show,
that should matter.
That should matter.
Yeah.
Right, and that's where it definitely matters, because
the whole point is the best and the prestigious.
Yes,
right?
and you're entering a competition, right? And if it doesn't differentiate at that point, then where does it differentiate? Right?
Yeah, like style, execution. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not talking about building a car and then just going to Tim Hortons to have at a parking lot meet or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm talking about, you're talking about entering your hard-earned money.
You pay money
to go in. You pay money to spend time there. You pay money for food.
You spend time there.
Right. You're
time
spending
is money.
8 hours.
Right?
Time is money. Sometimes a lot of people are going, coming in from out of town. You got you got to get a hotel. You got to get a lot of stuff.
And then you're like, oh yeah, that guy with the Amazon fake grills win because it's the most unique we saw. Is it the most unique you saw and that's why it's good? Or is it most unique because it's the only one that's like garbage? Right?
That's what I'm saying, right? Like, I think that area sometimes needs to be worked on.
I believe it, yeah.
Right? So that it doesn't kill off the vibes.
Yeah, because again, I hate one thing that annoys me the most is I'm okay with people buying like quote unquote like cheaper parts.
Oh, totally okay.
But I hate it when, like, example, I'm entering a show, you claim you have BBS LMs. You know what I'm talking about. But then let's be real, it's not BBS LM. It was like a rep brand you've bought off. It's not even multi-piece.
Yep.
You stuck a sticker on it saying it is.
Yeah.
And then he wins because great execution. I'm like, but you're presenting something that's not as advertised. That's the definition of rep part. If it was like an ESR wheel,
but that's the thing, right? It comes down to having knowledgeable judging,
and a lot of people aren't.
And a lot of people aren't. I can honestly tell you, like, they aren't, right?
See,
so
I would have been okay if it was an ESR wheel, representing an ESR wheel, saying it's an ESR wheel, and he won because it looked good on the car and the ensemble. I get it. But it's like when they do rep parts and they win, it's like, then that just destroys. I think that actually destroys the ambiance of the show. Because at that point, then I'll just go to China, get me fake BBS, AA5s.
Yep.
Have you seen those AA5s?
Yep.
And then there you go. I built a race car for like $100.
That's exactly it, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's just it. I feel like that area needs a lot of work. A lot of work.
I also compare it to like fashion shows.
Yeah. So
like, do you want to put Louis Vuitton? You want to put Gucci in the same category as Forever 21? You want them to be in the same show
the
together?
Main thing is don't advertise you have like professional judges.
Yeah.
When clearly they don't know how to judge.
If they knew, then if they knew, then this wouldn't be a conversation to be had.
Yes.
Right.
Because I feel like in that aspect, you're misrepresenting your brand. And
the what's the word I'm looking for? Not the essence of car show, but like the idea. Like, you're literally you're calling it something that's not. Like, you're just saying I'm a car show, but realistically, you're just gathering people to make money off of them. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Right? Because again, if they enter, they pay you money. Oh, there's money in my pocket. Woo-hoo.
Yeah. It's just like even for vendors and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Vendors lose money when you don't have
legitimate
traffic.
Yeah.
Right? If people don't want to come and look at the cars, or if you end up in a really odd area where the show is, then nobody wants to show up. And for the people who expect to pay money for a booth to make money, they won't, because of that, right? But it's like an added negative vibe to shows in general. I think most of the shows are pretty decent. There's just one that
Thou shall not be named.
Thou shall not be named. But you know,
I get it.
Yeah, I think to keep the modding alive, you really need to kind of work on it.
Yeah, it's
a little bit. But a lot of people don't even care for shows much anymore.
Let's be cause in Canada especially, because like, well, goddamn, like if I'm gonna spend all this effort and energy and enthusiasm, that's the thing. You're not expecting to win. It was never you entered a show expecting to win.
Yeah.
But you're entering a show because you want to try and compete and win.
Yeah.
And now you're saying that, oh, all I had to really do was go on Yahoo, go on Amazon, order a few fake vents, a little bit of gimmicks like random ice cream cone, ice cream truck music, and then you win. Like,
yeah,
bro, you're like, okay,
yeah, definitely. Like to each your own. Not that I'm criticizing people starting from the ground up.
No.
I'm okay with people who buy replica or not top tier parts, right?
I have a friend. I have a friend. He's always like, "Oh, I'm modding my car, and like I bought these things. I know you're not gonna approve of it because it'll be like cheap end like stuff." I'm like, "That's fine."
In most cases,
but that's fine.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
But the other thing is in most cases, a lot of people don't also understand is if you buy genuine parts, a lot of times, and this has definitely been proven in the JDM market, you can make money on the parts.
When you resell it back.
Right, you resell it back, right? Like everything has gone up exponentially, and the rarer the JDM part, the more it's worth.
Yeah.
Like an EK spoon cluster is like,
oh my god, what? $11,000 now, something?
USD, yeah.
It's a price of a car.
Yeah, 15K Canadian, something.
But it's like even let's just say, let me put it this: some people don't think like that. They just want it in the moment.
Yep.
But as long as you acknowledge what you're doing and what you're spending it on, and you're not trying to pass it off as I'm a hotshot. Look at me.
Exactly, right?
It's like, the attitude.
It's the attitude to it. Yes, it's how you play it out. Don't. Like you said, if you own up to the mods being not an authentic part,
not a hype part, if you will.
Right.
Yeah.
So be it. It's fine, right? I have no issues with that, and it's just only at shows. If I was judging, then that would matter to my eyes.
It will.
Right. But if in terms of it's just a functionality thing, if you're buying like, let's say,
SPC arms.
Right.
Instead of SPL.
Or whatever, like BC racing coilovers, like they're totally fine.
They work. Yeah.
They work, right? It doesn't have to be Owens, stuff like that.
If you can't afford it, by all means.
If you can't, by all means.
By all means. Yeah.
Like mod to your means, but if you had the option to and you could wait a little bit to save up, obviously genuine parts are better, right? Or like
good reputable brands,
higher quality. It makes a difference.
Yeah.
Right. Even in terms of like ride quality, in terms of like Owens versus BC, Owens ride incredible.
But you don't get to go as low.
Yes.
So
that's
again,
unfortunate.
Yeah, it is what it is, right?
It is what it is.
Trade-offs. It's always trade-offs. But at the end of the day, I think we came to the conclusion that realistically, as long as you're not trying to pass it off as something that as long as you're not disingenuine.
Yeah.
Disingenuine of your build process. I think that's fine. You can do whatever you want, but when it comes to shows, the quality of parts matter. The quality of the car build matters.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't just be he wins because he has a unicorn horn sticking out of his like freaking hood. Because he's so unique.
Yeah. Exactly.
If it's not good looking, it's not good looking, and it shouldn't be the representation of the show.
Yep.
Because that means like, bro, people are gonna start. Remember those eyelashes you can stick on headlights?
Oh god!
Imagine if I see one of those people like win, I'm like, I'm just gonna lose my mind.
My wife likes those, man. They'll make her kick your ass.
I'll fight her one time. I gotta fight her now. It's so weird. It's so weird.
She wants those on her Beetle.
I'm okay with that. On a Beetle, I'm okay with. On a Mini, I'm okay with.
Oh god!
Because they're round lights. I get it.
No, please. No, please.
It's okay. All right. Well, let's see. One more thing before we go. you already walked this path for so long now, right? If some kid approaches you and be like, "Hey, I like your car. I want to be like you one day," what advice would you give to this kid?
Just work hard. Work hard. Build to your own, like, work hard, save money, get a car that you want, or that's how I did it, man. That's how everybody did it, right? There's just no other way, and build to your own taste, right? Don't build for somebody else's pleasure. Build for your own.
Do for yourself.
Do it for yourself, right? Because then if you're not doing it for yourself, it's you're building for the wrong reasons, right? If you look at your own car and like a lot of people say, if you get out of your car and you're not turning around to look at your own car to admire it, then you built the wrong car, right? It's as simple as that. If you're not enjoying your own car yourself, then there's no point in building.
Yeah. What's the point of that point? What are you trying to impress?
Yeah. Right. And that's one of the things they want to try and be me. Like, I'm not special. It's just find your own path. Right. And me, I'm crazy. I like to drive spaceships on the road. And
do you ever air out your Sienna while driving just because you're like
No, you can't. Okay. I unfortunately the rear, I had to remove there was is this solid
axle. Yeah.
So they had it came with spacers.
Oh.
Camber spacers.
Oh wow, okay. I didn't know.
I knew there was something wrong when I got it because I knew there was toe in the spacer.
Oh yes.
It wasn't only just camber, and holy crap, it went through 2 sets of tires in 2 months.
Yeah.
It killed the tires.
Because you can't because you can't adjust the rear at all.
No. And so I ended up removing them, and because of the tire size on the 21s.
Oh, the 21s.
Yeah, the 21s. There's not that many options in tires.
Yeah.
So right now it rubs a little bit.
Okay.
On the rear. Okay. Yeah. So I have to probably pick up I think SPC has a camera kit.
Okay.
That dials it back in, but no toe.
Okay, so it's just a block. Okay.
Right. So it's just that. Just camber. So tuck it back in a little bit. But
space shuttles, you have spaceships.
Yeah.
Space shuttle.
Yeah.
RX-7 spaceship.
Yeah, spaceship, space shuttle. But yeah, it's I don't know. I lost 2 lips on the 401 though.
That's how low it was? Wait, what? How did you do that?
It was in the winter.
Oh.
Yeah, the snow caught it, and I was already driving like aired up,
like all the way up.
Yeah, and it's still.
So even when it's aired up, it's still lower than the.
No. When it's aired up, I can get it higher than OEM, I think.
Okay, but it was just that.
Just a bad winter. Like even this winter, if I was driving with a front lip, it would have been gone, 100%.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
I ripped all my under trays already on seriously.
I know.
I got a check engine light that just turned on.
Oh.
And the car sounds very, very, very rumbly.
Oh.
I think I ripped an exhaust somewhere. I don't know where. I'll find out later today.
It happens to everybody, man. Like so many people were getting stuck this last week.
I didn't get stuck though. That's my prize. That's my little.
Which car?
The Series Z.
Oh, seriously? Yeah. Surprisingly, this thing doesn't get stuck either.
Hey man, again, I made a video about this already. It's not about all-wheel drive. It's about winter tires.
It's about winter tires.
Exactly. See, I didn't get stuck in my little pile of crap. And
I of the 3 Siennas I've had, honestly, I don't think I've ever gotten stuck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I don't think I've ever gotten stuck. And even the worst of like that one crazy huge storm, I didn't get stuck, but I got stuck on the 401
for traffic
for 13 hours because the trucks were all stuck.
Yeah, so you're just sitting there like, oh shit, you can't.
Dude, I was sitting at 401 and Wilson.
Bro, that's torture.
I remember, and man, I had to go to the washroom so bad. I was in the express. I got out of the car, and it was the funniest thing because I told these guys, I was like, yo, I'm walking to the McDonald's. I was like, I don't care. I have to go, and I'm starving.
Oh my gosh.
Right? So I told the guys, and a couple of guys gave me money to buy them combos to bring it back too. It was the craziest thing ever.
That's so funny. You hopped the barrier and everything.
I hopped the barrier. I had no choice. Everybody was out of the car, and lucky thing was that a couple of the trucks got moving, and I got under the bridge.
The car got under the bridge.
Yes, okay. Because what ended up happening was it was like raining so hard that as soon as you stopped your wipers, your whole windshield froze instantly.
Okay.
So if you didn't keep your car running and warm,
yeah,
it would have instantly froze over.
Yeah, it would just freeze over.
Yeah, like imagine like we left the car running. Everybody left their cars running for the whole entire.
We have to.
Yeah, you had to. Because otherwise, you would have died.
You would have freeze to death.
Froze to death.
Oh, you were stuck now because the snow built up, and now you're part of the problem.
It's crazy, yeah. That storm was insane.
That is mass. That is crazy.
And even in that storm, I didn't get stuck.
Winter tires. Winter tires.
Please, I don't even understand why people even risk going out in the winter without winter tires.
You know that video that I did. A lot of people in the comments, you don't need winter tires. All-wheel drive. All-wheel drive will get you out of everything.
All-wheel drive will allow you to accelerate.
Maybe.
When you brake, buddy, you're flying.
It's ice skates.
Yeah, it's hockey pucks. You're not stopping. And people always have that mentality thinking that, all-wheel drive is good to do whatever you do. No, it's not. Get damn winter tires.
It's your
please.
Tires are more important than your drivetrain.
They should literally make it the same as Quebec, mandatory winter tires.
Honestly, you want to hear a funny one? So me not getting stuck in this little slammed little Honda front wheel drive nonsense, and then when you're driving through neighborhoods, you see those cars trying to get out now.
Yep.
Everyone I've seen that try to get out gets stuck, and they're all SUVs.
Yep. And even last the Wednesday, the storm, a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
The plows were doing some really strange patterns, and
it's terrible.
Yeah, it was terrible. And as I was driving through a lot of the intersections, they plowed, but then they kind of plowed the other direction, and then they left a chunk in the middle of the intersection.
Yeah.
And anybody who was trying to turn left would be going into those, and if you didn't commit,
you're stuck.
As if you rammed it, everybody got stuck.
Yeah, I seen it. Right. I had that happen to me almost because I was making a left. I got caught in the snow. I felt the car flinging itself because it's turning. Snow.
Yep.
I was like, oh God.
And so many people just don't realize that you got to commit.
You just have to.
You have to. Otherwise, no matter if you're all-wheel drive, snow tires, you're stuck.
You're stuck.
Once the bottom of your car is sitting on top of the snow, you're done.
I got stuck because of that. Because it's literally, the car was off the ground completely.
Yep.
The wheels are not even near the tarmac. Yep. It's just literally beached.
Yep.
That is at that point, you can't move out. You're not playing. You can't fly.
No, you got to dig yourself out. That's the only way you're moving anywhere. You got to dig yourself out. And there was a lot of cars. It was hilarious. Like in Mississauga, there was a lot of cars that were legally parked on the street.
Yeah, but they were in the way of the plows, though.
But yeah, dude, the plows just did not care.
They don't care.
They just buried those cars.
Yeah, last night I drove through a neighborhood.
Yep.
I'm like, who the hell left this mountain of snow in? It turns out it was a white car that got buried from all the shoveling, and it's still buried. Remember, our snowstorm was a week ago.
Yeah.
That car's still buried in there. It's literally, it's just completely blocked off. I thought it was just a mountain of snow.
Yeah.
But it turns out to be a car that just got covered in snow.
That's crazy.
I was like, bro, yeah.
You can't even dig those out.
You can't. There's no way.
It's like frozen solid now. It's done. You're done.
Oh, yeah, so go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that
flamethrower. You got to get a flamethrower.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Uncle Raymond, for coming.
Man.
It was nice talking to you. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
We'll see you more in this car season, I guess.
I will, definitely.
Yeah.
We'll see you soon.
Yeah, and then Sienna entering, please.
I'll try.
I think if you enter the Sienna, you'll definitely be the only van at a show. Other than the sound one.
There's no category for me though. That's the thing.
That's Toyota Other.
That's Toyota Other. Maybe.
Toyota Other. Yeah, it would be Toyota Other. What else?
It would
GR Corolla?
But not many. I don't think many shows have that category anyway.
No, because there's not enough Toyotas getting modified anymore.
No?
Think about it. There's only like Corollas.
That's a lot.
But like barely anyone actually.
GRs?
Now there's GRs, but that's only this year too. So now you GR Corolla. Okay, Supra maybe, I guess.
Supra? Yeah. There's a lot of Supras.
Right? Not that many though, compared to like Hondas? Compared to Subarus?
There's still a lot. 8.6s.
Yeah, but that's also they classify that as a Scion Beer C86 category now.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the thing, right? So it's like the Toyota and the Toyota Other is definitely hard. A Mazda one's also pretty hard too. Because again, there's not many. What, Mazda Speed 3?
No, there's still a lot.
Right.
You know.
I guess, but it's not as much as say like
Speed 3, man. I lost to a Speed 3 too. You know?
Hey. Hey,
you know?
It's okay. Sometimes I get judges, man. Judges.
You know?
They don't know better sometimes, right?
No, I'm not saying there's anything against Mazda Speed 3. I'm just saying, you know. They're good cars.
It's just the judges. Again, it's not the car itself or the person that owns the car.
Totally not. Totally not.
Judge better. Just judge better. Judges, judge better.
Do better.
All right.
Do better.
Well, okay. Well, I guess this is the end of it. So this is the end of the episode. So if you like what you see, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you can be up to date with our stuff. And we'll see you guys next time. All right, tap it out.
Take it easy.
Yay!